Oregon, right across the street from the library. It's a very public location. Lots of people walk past here every day. We certainly hope so anyway, because this is a demonstration garden. What we wanted to demonstrate was that you can plant a variety of plants, a variety of perennials and shrubs and even trees and ground covers. They will protect the soil. The roots of the plants will sequester carbon in the soil, which is important for climate change. And they, when they're filled in and really have filled the space thoroughly, will be a lot less maintenance while still being very beautiful. So this is something that a lot of gardeners might want to know about. So the plants we've chosen for here include a lot of natives like this columbine, but we also have non-natives. I'm not sure what all is in the picture here, but we have dwarf hydrangeas down here. We have some peaveys, a mix of natives and non-natives. But basically they were all chosen to be plants that are beautiful, that cover a lot of different seasons, so that we have flowers in the spring and in the summer and in the fall, foliage that looks nice all the winter. Some of these are evergreens that will look nice during the winter, and that they will fill in completely, and in a few years this will be a very densely planted, low maintenance but attractive and inviting landscape. And we put up a sign here recently also to give people more information about that, so they can duplicate this at home or do something similar at home if they want.
I think one of the important things about the concept of a regenerative garden is that here in our own little space we can actually make a positive difference. That there's this whole idea that we as humans are always messing things up and doing bad things, but yet we actually can, with just a few plants and a little bit of work, do something that's having a real benefit for the world. Not only just for the bees and the birds, which are very important, but also it's a drop in the bucket towards working against climate change.
Hi, I'm Teresa Madison from Benton Soil and Water Conservation District in Corvallis, Oregon. At the Benton SWCD, I am a resource conservationist. I also coordinate the soil health program and oversee some water quality monitoring. Working with the Regenerative Landscape Coalition fulfills several of Benton SWCD's strategic goals. We like to promote native plants, so the beautiful garden design here includes some lovely Oregon natives, Oregon iris, some yarrow, maybe not a native variety, but yarrow is wonderful. We like to include native plants in landscapes to support the birds, butterflies, and beneficial insects that are so important in all ecosystems, urban and rural, agricultural, wild places. The role that Benton SWCD plays in the membership of the coalition is to, early on, we provided a meeting place for the members, especially important as the group was forming. It gave us cohesion. We had monthly meetings, a good place to meet, and we also provide a website for the Willamette Valley Regenerative Landscape Coalition to get their message out to the world. Benton SWCD has provided a small amount of financial support. We helped purchase the sequester signage. We helped fund some of the plant materials. We paid for mileage as some of the members traveled from different areas and also picked up things like mulch that was really important as we were planting the garden. A really important aspect of the demonstration garden is to raise awareness about the importance of our natural resource in this urban setting. For urbanites, it's often easy to lose track of your natural resource connections. The display that we have here is in both English and Spanish, so it helps us reach audiences that have been underserved with conservation education in our area. The dense plantings also provide shade that cools the air. It also prevents weeds from germinating. If there's a big plant canopy overhead, then weeds are less likely to germinate under those dense plantings. So an important aspect of this garden as we work towards it was to offer hope to people who live in the city. We hear so much gloom and doom about climate issues and what's happening, and sometimes you just feel like there's nothing you can do to help address that. But planting a regenerative garden in your home landscape can offer so many pathways to helping with climate issues. This corner of Central Park demonstrates how a neglected spot can be converted into a beautiful garden that showcases how dense plantings can reduce weed pressure, improve soil health, and provide a wonderful habitat for birds, butterflies, and beneficial insects. So I love this garden because it helps promote soil health building to people who live in town. So those features include the dense plantings with roots in the soil that are constantly excreting exudates in there, building soil health and supporting the underground communities that do nutrient cycling, even in a park setting. The perennial plantings in this garden reduce soil disturbance, which keeps the soil structure in place, allows the water, rain, and irrigation to infiltrate into the soil where it can be stored for use during our dry summers. You can see here in the garden, we've left the leaves on top of the soil, and that helps keep the moisture in the ground, keeps the plant roots cool, and builds soil structure as the soil microorganisms and the worms climb up to the soil surface and pull those organic mulches down into the soil depths. City folks who are more aware of natural resources in their environment are more likely to support and understand conservation practices and organizations like Benton SWCD and what we have to offer to our community.
I'd like to put in a word or two about the future. I think it's no secret that we're living in times of unprecedented peril, and you may be watching this and wondering what you could do to help. You may also be wondering why planting a small garden could possibly make any difference, and that's a very good question. Well, imagine a world that's at peace, where the air is fit to breathe, the water's fit to drink, and people are all looking out for each other and looking out for the well-being of the planet. That's the world we all want, whether we think about it much or not. And a garden can help in its own small way. 3,000 years ago, the philosopher Lao Tzu was pondering really these same questions. And here's what he had to say about it. And you'll have to forgive the sexist language. The feminist movement hadn't come along just yet. Realized in one man, fitness has its rise. Realized in a family, fitness multiplies. Realized in a village, fitness gathers weight. Realized in a country, fitness becomes great. Realized in the world, fitness fills the skies. And thus, the fitness of one man you find in the family he began, you find in the village that accrued, you find in the country that ensued, you find in the world's whole multitude. How do I know this integrity? Because it could all begin with me. You know, if you were to take to heart the notion that your garden, your land, your property is already a benefit to the world simply because it's growing things, assuming you're managing it properly, then you'd be on the right path. And what's more, it could be even better. And that's what we're trying to show here. You know, it doesn't take much. It's not that hard. And it brings great joy to you and everyone who visits. And of course, there are ancillary benefits to the birds and the pollinators, and I could go on and on about the benefits of gardens. I hope you'll come and visit and take away some ideas for your own property. You can be a catalyst for change. You can make a difference. And I hope that this will inspire you to get out and do something. Thank you.